Welcome back to this week's Real Estate Producer Show. I'm Kara, and I'm here with Jim Shaffer from Jim Shaffer and Associates at Good Company, and Mike and Tanis from Hall Financial. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
So we're so excited to have Jim on today. You really have so much knowledge about the industry, but other than that, have like such a good perspective on the industry too. So truly one of a kind, and we're really excited to just hear what you have to say. So to get started, when did you decide that you wanted to start your own brokerage?
Yeah, well, interesting question. I got into real estate full-time in 2009 and had been at some of the big box brands. I rode the hot air balloon. I did the God family business thing at another big box brokerage, and just realized that none of them fit exactly my vision for my career and really what I wanted to offer out to other agents. And so through some folly and a little bit of fun, I founded Good Company. And so we decided to do that. So we're Jim Shaffer and Associates under Good Company, and we're a fun bunch, that's for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So you said that your some other places that you were at prior did not fit your vision. So what was your vision / still is your vision with your brokerage? Yeah,
absolutely. So we truly are people first at all costs. And sometimes that's at the cost of the brokerage. We're people before profit is what we generally say. And so in that spirit, I think, forever real estate brokerages have somehow decided to commoditize the relationship with the real estate agent. In many cases, they're taking 20 and 30% of a realtor's commission. A lot of consumers don't understand that or don't know that. When you're negotiating real estate commission with your agent, they've already got to turn around and offer a large percentage of that back to their broker. And I thought, well, there's no way on the planet that a broker can provide $20, $30, or even $50,000 worth of value, which a lot of these brokerages are charging. So for us, there's no nickel and dime, there's no hidden fees. Everybody pays their fair share, and then we share in the resources. I mean, really, that's the idea of what we built.
That's awesome. I love that.
Cool. Yeah, it's like a cooperative. Think of it that way. If you're familiar with that business model, a cooperative where everybody gives a little and takes a little, and together we all succeed and help each other grow.
Yeah, I love that. I'm sure that really does reflect in keeping your realtors happy. You're keeping your clients happy too. So I love that mentality, and that's huge. So that's awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
All right, so Jim, you ready for some hard-hitting questions about the market?
I am. I'll tell you. I may not have all the answers or a crystal ball, but we'll do our very best.
I see your notepad right there.
Oh, perfect.
I'm just kidding.
So we went into the lockdown, and things changed quite a bit for realtors. Sure. And now that we're coming out of it, just tell us what you're like seeing now coming out of it and how the market is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like coming out of lockdown seems like a decade ago. I'm sure it does for all of us. It's like dog years. We're all aging 7 years in a year. And so all of that seems so distant at this point. And yet some of those realities are still coming to roost. You and I were talking before the show, Mike, about some major metros are actually seeing a lag in real estate sales and actually some price softening that's happening. And I think that's all as a result of people moving away from major metros, which is interesting. We see a lot of migration happening. People can work from anywhere in the country now. Like we all have freedom. Like what a wonderful gift, right? And so a lot of our clients are coming to us saying, hey, I never liked Michigan winters. I'm going to relocate to a warmer climate, be it Phoenix or North Carolina or goodness knows where. So there's a lot of that happening as a result of the market. And so some price indexes and articles are starting to report on price softening. And I think what's driving that is most of those articles, if you read the fine print, it's pointing more to the major metros, including our major metro here in downtown Detroit proper. There was a lot of price softening. Nobody was buying in Detroit proper during probably a year and a half of the pandemic when it first started because it became super uncomfortable to work from a 1,000 square foot loft with no storage and no walls in many cases. And you may have two professionals working in that same environment. And so kind of an interesting thing happening there. And there is a movement out to more land. People want more space and they want houses that fit their needs. So premiums like hot tubs and swimming pools and things of that nature, or extra like flexible space on the entry level where they could have home office and still be there with their family have become premium,
Yeah,
premium amenities. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think something too, to kind of sum it up in what you're saying is people's values of what they wanted in a home kind of changed. Or it might have, sped up. Maybe
Sure.
you kind of had a family sooner than you thought, or you had a different career change because of the pandemic that caused something within your career. So I think that people's values just all at once, where normally that might not happen. And maybe that happens to individuals in a lifetime, but the pandemic really, we saw a huge shift in people's values and what they valued out of their home as well. So
Yeah, I certainly saw
Yeah,
that.
now, and we're still seeing, these crazy appraisal waivers and, waiving inspection and all that. How are you coaching your team to deal with those things right now?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's a great topic. Both on our team and in our brokerage, we're constantly masterminding best practices, right? I've tried this. Did you try that? Well, maybe I'll try that and see if it also works for me. So what seems to be interesting right now, we're getting a lot of appraisal waivers, either in full or what we call gap coverage. So hypothetically, somebody agrees on a $200,000 house, they're going to pay $250,000. So that gap would be $50,000 between the space that the appraisal is likely to come in at and the full sales price at $250,000 that they're offering. So we're seeing the gap coverage, we're seeing full appraisal waivers, we're seeing inspection waivers where it's basically sight unseen, we're buying it no matter what. So a lot of interesting things happening there, and yet we as fiduciaries to our client always want to make sure they're protected. So one strategy that has been interesting, and I'll share, and I know there's a lot of realtors who watch our program as well, is that we're obviously writing an offer as soon as the house hits the market. We tour it with our clients, try to get them in there on day one, and then we're writing a really competitive offer over asking, 10, 20, 30,000 over in some cases. And then we say, if you'll accept our offer by this deadline, 9 p.m. tonight, midnight tonight, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll give you another 10,000 on top of this already inflated price. And we're finding that starting to work. Yeah. Instead of, it's almost
getting
like
really aggressive.
it's an incentive rather than a takeaway, because typically that sort of bully offer is what we call that. Our bully offers used to be, we're coming in with a strong offer. If you don't accept it by midnight, we're revoking it and we're going to move on elsewhere. Well, no one likes a takeaway. Everybody likes a bonus. And so we just reverse psychology that within our team. And once we proved the concept and it started to work, we started to share that with those in our brokerage. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's really cool. An offer they can't refuse. I love it.
It's an offer you cannot refuse. Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
So going with, staying current, we know that you are a social media TikTok king.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to show a photo here of just an example of what you do.
Yes.
And
He's like, oh gosh,
I
I
know, right?
love it.
Yes.
He's so
So
creative.
great.
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit of the importance in social media with, the current market and who you're approaching for that. And
Certainly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we start with a foundation of fun. If it's not fun, I don't want to be a part of it, frankly. And that runs through every vein in my life, frankly. Like, it's too short. Let's have it all while we can. More is my mantra. And so in that aspect, we started to do real estate content. Jess, our director of marketing at the time, grabbed me and said, we need more Jim in our content. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. So we started to make these really robotic real estate videos. Like, I've seen everyone's cheesy real estate video. They step out of their Maserati, they button their suit coat, and I'm like, Earl, I'm not that guy. Like, let's
That's not
make
you,
fun
yeah.
content that's authentic to who we are, and let's attract the people that we want to attract. And that has been the result of it. So we're making these things that are pure to who we are as humans. Jess and I still work together. Ryan's also part of our marketing team. We've got quite a group of marketing folks now that are working together toward a common mission, but the common thread is just fun.
So yeah, you have a lot of humor in that. And do you keep the humor involved throughout the buying and selling process with the clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I fully believe like your vibe will attract your tribe. And so when you start to put your authentic character out there, you find clients that want to work with you because of who you are and how you carry yourself. Everyone on our team, we're a team of 70 people, which seems just outrageous to me. But we all love one another and we really enjoy having fun. And so if we aren't laughing, we're doing it wrong. And so there's a lot of laughs within our office that obviously goes out into the client experience as well, right? At all costs.
Yeah.
And real estate's a stressful business, so you got to keep it fun, keep everybody laughing.
I was just going to say that too, that it's not easy and especially now more than ever. So for on the realtor side, buying, listing agents, and on the client side, it's not easy. So when you have a realtor that is working for a team and just themselves, that's being positive and keeping the humor and keeping it fun. I think that's everything because it's not easy. seen. People get emotionally attached to homes and get upset when their offer is not accepted, or something went wrong with the inspection, whatever it is. So keeping the positivity is absolutely huge, because there are houses out there for people. It just might not be the first one they come across. So you got to be positive along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping that spirit upbeat, it's a really difficult market. A lot of our clients are writing, and from a buyer perspective, 5 or 10, 20 offers before they get one accepted. Imagine the heartbreak, right? I'm falling in love with this property. I'm envisioning myself growing old in it, or raising kids, or meeting the love of my life one day in this house. And then to have that dream just go away after you've gone through that. So really difficult time to be a home buyer. But working with the right folks and some strategies, you can still get to the finish line.
Yeah.
And have fun doing it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
spirit and humor.
Yes.
What other qualities do you look for when you're looking at bringing on a new team member, that things that you look for?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable work ethic to be part of our team. So we're high production, it's high pace, but our biggest focus really is the client experience. So if you don't have your client's best interest before your own, then you're probably not a great fit for our team, right? So we're looking for somebody who has a really high work ethic, and then ethics beyond that. So most of us are working 60 plus hours a week, frankly, myself included, still to this day. And in that vein, when you're running at such a high level, you've got to be able to recharge yourself. You've got to be able to come back for the fight. But most importantly, treat the client right. It's one thing to help them find a house today. It's another thing that they trust you 5 years from now when they're ready to sell it again. And we're informing them way up front that that's our mission, right? I could care less if you buy a house in the third one I show you or the 300th. Most importantly, I want you to call me in 5 years when you're ready to sell, because that means I did a great job of protecting you. Yeah. And they'll remember that. And they'll refer friends and family and countless strings of business off one great client experience.
Yeah, and I really think that common saying that people remember how you made them feel is huge. They might not, they might remember if they went through a lot of offers on a house, but they more importantly remember how you made them feel within an experience. And especially during a time like we said that's that difficult, keeping positivity, of course, being the expert and kind of taking it serious when it's needed, but also, like we said, being positive and having a good spirit is absolutely everything. So that's awesome. Yeah,
it rings through both from client perspective and our team member, or even agents within our brokerage. I always let people know I will not let you fail. I absolutely will not let you fail, and we will work together to ensure that doesn't happen. Doesn't mean I'm going to do everything for you. We're going to work together to ensure it doesn't happen, but I won't let you fail. And if you approach everything that way, you'll be a success.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Getting back to the articles we were talking about before, everyone's kind of predicting the doom and gloom because rates are rising. Are you seeing that, or do you think that will slow down home buying and home prices, or is that just something that people are trying to get us scared?
It's a fantastic question. It's one I got at the grocery store last night and dinner 2 nights before that. Yeah. When people know you're in real estate, they always want to get your take on the market, especially in a turbulent time that we're experiencing, right? Let's just address it and call it what it is. It's an interesting time. So the market was extremely starved of inventory. Now take that and add the exact opposite of that with rising costs of ownership, right? i.e. Interest rates. And so those two things are sort of, you wouldn't expect them to be living in the same discussion, and yet today they are. And so finding ways to help either A, bring inventory to the market, or B, help buyers understand the curve of interest rates, right? Please go home and do some Googling. Look at interest rates throughout history. There's some great charts you can pull up, right? And understand where we are at in that point in history, that we're more likely to see higher interest rates for the next decade than we are to get back to 3 or below 3. And once they understand that and have a concept, I don't want to age myself and I won't tell you what year, but and you as mortgage professionals can figure it out.
Right?
Yeah, dog years, yeah. But my first interest rate was 9.5% when I bought my first home, and that was not uncommon. And my parents had experienced 18% interest rates. And so when they have that perspective, what I was trying to explain to you, Mike, what's likely to happen is people are going to take a breath. Right? I think the whole market will take a breath, because not only will potential home buyers who have been working toward finding a home and haven't found it take a breath and analyze what's happening with interest rates, I think sellers also, right? This may further the shortage of inventory, because folks that may have been waiting to buy something larger this summer might be rethinking it now, because they're going to give up the great rate they refied at, 3% hypothetically, and now they're looking at 5 or 6. and they're like, maybe I'll take a pause, right? I always say there's never a bad time to buy the right house. Right? And what I mean by that is your family needs the bigger home, right? Or maybe you can run your home business out of your home if you had more space, or it might be more comfortable. You're likely to be there for 5, 10, 20. Oftentimes we go on listing appointments and folks have been there 30 years, right? In what they thought was their starter home. So I think buy the right house for the right time. Certainly affordability is important. We want to make sure you're protected there and not in a bad financial situation. But a lot of things happening. I'm rambling now.
Yeah. No, I think that's
Good
huge,
stuff.
and you're right. It is comparative because there's, taking a look at even if it's student loan debt or credit card debt, whatever it is, and the interest rates that come along with those. A higher interest rate comparative to what it was in the last couple of years might not be saying as much as a lot of people. And to Mike's point of what a lot of articles are saying is that they're higher, but how high are they is, I think, really the conversation that kind of realtors need to have with clients, and clients can have with their lender as well, which I think is huge.
I mean, they're high relative to 2021, but they're low
Right.
relative to 2013 or 2012 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, it helps to have the parents in the closing. They'll yell at their kids
In
like
my day,
in my day.
You never
Yeah.
want the parents at the home inspection, but
Yeah.
you definitely want them at the conversation now about interest rates.
Yeah.
Realtor inside jokes, but
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So fun. Yeah.
So, and another thing I wanted to touch on is going off your social media, we see a lot of you interacting within the community and also promoting some local restaurants and shops. So how did you start doing that, and what does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. Well, our two veins of giving have always been kids and local businesses. And so for kids, we spend a lot of time and money and effort, volunteer hours, giving back to the local school districts that we serve. So that's one part of our mission. The other part has always been supporting other small mom and pop businesses. It's no secret that in America now those folks are getting squeezed. So the more we can do to champion them, either through a short video that we may make highlighting, shopping local for Mother's Day, or my new favorite restaurant or my new favorite bagel shop, any of those types of things. But then we take it a step further and we'll go into those places and help them understand Google My Business, right? I've been
Yeah.
really fortunate to have a great opportunity because of Google. And if I can teach other people how to leverage that as an asset to drive business to their mom and pop business, and you're giving, teach a man to fish sort of idea,
Yeah.
right? And so we do
There's a
those
lot that
types of
goes
things
into
in
it.
addition
For
to
anyone that
social.
doesn't know, there's
Yes.
definitely a lot that goes into it, so that's incredible.
It's a lot of, it's a science, but it's also a lot
Yeah.
of hard work, right? And time on task over time. It doesn't happen overnight, but if you will integrate the tactics that we can give you, you'll make a difference. So we're helping them by promoting them on social media, but more importantly, we're giving them skill set. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Lastly, I know that you are also huge on goals, and a goal is for in 2022 to serve 1,300 families, correct?
That is correct.
So tell us why it's important for you to give every single one of those families that you serve a 5-star experience.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we strive for, nothing short of. And we work in advance to let them know what they can expect from us, right? A mentor of mine once told me the definition of customer service is to tell someone what you're going to do for them, do it, and then go back and remind them that you did it and you did it well, and ask for a review, right? So that's really the customer service chain. And I find that has served our business well because people really do appreciate everything that you do for them. Sometimes you have to articulate it up front so they really understand the value of what you and your team members are bringing to the table. And then ultimately it served us because we have over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, which ranks us in the top in the state, or among those folks anyway.
That's awesome.
And so
Congrats.
when folks are looking for the local professional, they're often on Google and they end up finding us, which really is the ultimate goal, rather than a real estate portal in Palo Alto, California, that has no vested interest in their community.
Yeah, and people,
Yeah.
especially in a day and age where people read, I don't go to a restaurant without reading the reviews. Even if I'm
Yeah.
at the restaurant, I read the reviews to decide what I want to eat. Like, people
Yeah.
are insane with reading reviews these days, so that's
Yes.
absolutely amazing to hear that you not only value giving that 5-star service, but also you really value those reviews as well. So that's huge.
I love it. We're at a point in time in history where people trust strangers on the internet more than they trust their friends and family for a recommendation, right?
Yeah.
And so don't hate the player, hate the game. You got to get out there and play the game. I mean, that's the reality of it, right? And that's where we thrive to give back to others and help other local professionals do the same thing. Small businesses, other realtors, all of these great things. Loan officers as needed. So
Yeah, absolutely. And Hall Financial has nearly 5,000 five-star reviews, so definitely a priority there too. So, and we're so excited to hear everything that you have to say. And like I said, your perspective is just absolutely incredible, and I appreciate you so much for coming on. And do you have any parting thoughts for us?
No, it's my honor. I am one of those 5,000 five-star reviews for Hall Financial, and I left a really great review on my experience working with your team, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we appreciate you tons. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.